As it turns out, you have Shang-Chi to thank for Scarlett Johansson and her people winning the lawsuit against Disney and her being on talking terms and now, again, actually lining up new projects with Disney because the box office power was proven to be correct. So what we're hearing is the fact that when it comes to Black Widow and the entire box office take that the film got, Scarlett Johansson was suing also in part because she believed that had it been pulled from Disney Plus and only released in theaters, it could have made more money. And this proved to be true. This comes to industry insider Matthew Baloney, hopefully I said that right, who said that when it came down to discussing the lawsuit and the settlement, Scarlett Johansson and her people, all they had to do was point at Shang-Chi and go, so this character that nobody knows about didn't have a Disney Plus release and managed to make this much money on the Labor Day weekend. Typically in September, that's a death spot. They presented the evidence. Disney looked at it and said, well, you know what? Yeah, you know what? You're right. We probably could have made a lot more money had we not put your film on Disney Plus. So how about we settle? And instead of the $100 million, they settled for the back end of all the profits that she would have been given had the film's entire box office take included what was made on Disney Plus. Now, we don't know the final total, but reportedly it's about 40-ish to 60-ish million extra that she was given. So, in turn, I mean, it looks like Disney was in the wrong, which they were in the wrong from the beginning, for not structuring the new contract, not changing the wording in it, and also tossing the film out there and just kind of going, well, let's see what happens and don't worry about the consequences, because they must have known. And honestly, it's just good to see that everything's back to normal and that now this has kind of caused a ripple effect on everything. And you do have to think, Shang-Chi going into the opening weekend was estimated to be so low that if it opened that low, Shang-Chi would have been an example of, well, see, you actually made more money thanks to Disney Plus, but that's not the case. And ever since Shang-Chi, we've seen other films release exclusively in theaters and still make a ton of money, therefore proving that the whole Disney Plus factor did hold Black Widow back. So it's interesting to see how things are going to be moving forward, because the hybrid release worked and many people love it, but box office for Marvel movies at least is recovering and is recovered. So it's really going to be an interesting story to know how things play out in the future.